And the next thing is I'm actually going to show you a video, which is just like a good sample of the kinds of hints that people came up with. Okay, moving on from there, so we had lots of discussion. This whole process actually went on over several meetings, so we probably had lots of discussions in between meetings as well. And we decided that it was worthwhile us categorising them, because in the course of that discussion people realised that some of the hints they were using were perhaps not appropriate or not working for them the way they'd like to. So when they had to consider whether a hint was less effective or more effective, they had to ask themselves a couple of questions about, when I use that hint, what response do I get? What's the student's initial response? What's the follow-up response? And is the outcome what I was looking for? Or is the actual outcome counterproductive to what I was aiming to get? So when people were actually forced to really think of individual hints and the impact they were having on their daily life with their students, it really brought them to make some harsh decisions about, well, perhaps I won't be doing that one anymore, and perhaps also to take on some that they hadn't taken on before. There's a quick story I'll try to tell and get it right of a young student. It was one of the teachers actually expressed great frustration because she's been dealing with this student who is very, very demanding and constantly engages her with his conversation, basically. So he's an obsessive boy who cannot let go of things, and every day she finds herself in an argument with him, and it was just a to and fro situation. So she'd made some efforts to find a way to stop the constant cycle of argument and counter-argument, and that often led to less appropriate responses by her in her frustration, and often negative expectations on her behalf. Every day she was dreading going into him, knowing that again he's going to relentlessly be at her for, when is lunch time? Yeah, but my lunch is on the bench. I know this sounds very trivial, but these things can really grate at people and change the outcomes for everybody. So the teacher, having discussions with other teachers, decided that she would adopt some of the hints that were suggested to her by others who weren't having the same problems. And it was an excellent outcome in that she started using those, and she let go of her tendency to get involved in argument, and in a very small time she began to see results by her persistence. One of the persistent things she did was, it's not talking time. It was as simple as that to her, to keep doing that over again. It's not talking time. And then often she would say when it was talking time, and he would get his talking time. So she was very happy that she was now free and she'd taken back control of her situation. Okay, so the discussion followed and we categorised our hints. There's some of the post-its when people put their post-its up. It became clear when we were doing all this categorising of hints that there was a theme, there was a commonality in hints. And so we decided to make some posters under the headings. The headings were body language, classroom systems, positive affirmations, and these hints are going up all around the school. In the classrooms for the teacher, it's actually a prompt or a hint to the teachers to use their hinting. We also have other posters, which we don't have on here, which list the different kinds of hints you can use under those headings. So that was it for our process. Thank you.
Okay, in conclusion, previously the teachers thought of hints as consisting mainly of visual hints, or what we labelled body language hints. Now they're intentionally choosing a wider variety of hints, more noticeably the use of verbal hints and diverting attention. They've really stepped up in using those rather than just the signing. That's still happening, but there is a wider variety.